Remain seated, please. Permanecer sentados, por favor.
Matterhorn Matt presents Matterhorn Mondays.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 83 of Matterhorn Mondays. I'm your host, Matterhorn Matt.
And I am Alex the Historian.
Thank you, Alex, for that introduction. We got a great, wonderful, lovely stream for you guys today. Lovely podcast, if you would like to rather call it a podcast instead of a stream. It'll probably most likely be a shorter episode. Not a lot in the way of Disney news or rumors have surfaced this past week, and we figured we'd give you guys a little bit of a break from last week's long episode, which, if I may say, I'm very surprised at the amount of positive feedback we've received on the past podcast that we did with Jeremy and Alex and I. I don't know, it's really interesting. I think only one dislike so far on the last podcast, but if you guys have not checked out the last episode, Alex and I, and Jeremy as well, sort of went on an in-depth, I guess, kind of like an evaluation almost of the current state of the Walt Disney Company. We talked about the movies, the parks, we talked about the Disney-Fox deal that recently went through. Very interesting stuff. If you guys would like to check that out, if you haven't already, go back an episode. That was episode 82, but this is episode 83, you guys, and it feels like it's 2 o'clock, but it's really 5 o'clock. The sun is still up, and I don't know. Something today just feels off. I feel like someone set my clocks forward. And is it really 5 o'clock right now, or is it like, I don't know.
No, Matt, it's actually 4 o'clock.
Oh my gosh. Guys, we're an hour
in California.
Oh. Alex nay-nayed on me. He got me good. I don't know. Something just feels off about today. Anyways,
Matt, you should just run your channel on Disneyland time.
On Disneyland time. I don't know. That could be a good idea, because there is a lot of confusion when I say like mountain time. Not a lot of people know what that means. I guess if I say Disneyland time,
they're all checking Switzerland to see what time it is.
No, yeah, I feel like that's what some people do, because I don't think mountain time is very well known throughout the U.S. But I don't know. That might be a good idea. We might switch to that. So it would be 4.
4 p.m. Disneyland time.
4 p.m. Disneyland time. And does Disneyland... You guys in California don't do daylight savings, right?
Oh, we love daylight savings.
Oh, okay.
We live off of it every year, and we worship it.
Okay, dang it. Well, I was going to say, I wouldn't have to worry about that, but I guess... yeah, I'll think about that. That'd be pretty neat to do. 4 p.m. Disneyland time. Well, I guess I have to do like the calculation in my head, so I know what time it is for me. I mean, it's not that much of a calculation. You just subtract an hour, but I don't know. Anyways, it's gonna be an interesting stream, nonetheless. When I'm talking, I don't know if you guys can hear it. My jaw is like cracking, like very subtly. I don't know. It's a weird day. Anyways, I always forget to do these announcements, and I feel like I should really push myself to be consistent when it comes to saying all the announcements that I have written down in my notes. So my first bit of my first announcement, as you may say, is to announce that this episode of Matterhorn Mondays is sponsored by all of my patrons over on patreon.com/MatterhornMatt. We're going to be having a lot of great content coming to the Patreon these next couple months. Jeremy and I are also currently working on two new series. Two new shows on the channel. So stay. Oh my gosh! So stay tuned to the channel.
Matt is rebooting.
Oh my gosh! So stay tuned on the channel for those within the next coming months, maybe even weeks. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. You guys can also join our Discord server. Link is in the description below, or you can, if you don't want to look at the description, I'll say it out to you. It is https://invite.gg/mtn outpost. If you guys would like to join our amazing, wonderful, spectacular Discord server, we have a lot of great people that we have very, interesting, in-depth discussions about Disney news, about memes. We post a lot of memes on the channel. There's a lot of funnies that happen on the server, so be sure to check that out. Also, if you guys are looking for more family-friendly live streams, and we are family-friendly, if you guys did not know that. I don't think we've said a single curse word in any episode of Matterhorn Mondays. I take pride in that.
I was totally gonna say like, oh no, I was gonna, I don't know, I was gonna like say a bad word in there.
Alex is trying to break our streak of 83 episodes, but yeah, if you guys would like to find more family-friendly live streams, head over to the Live Place, link in the description below. They are sort of a website that hosts different live streams, Disney and non-Disney related. They host this channel, as well as Resort TV 1, who, if you guys don't know who Resort TV 1 is, great channel. They do live streams every Friday, and I believe Wednesday and sometimes Saturday as well. Sort of sporadic, but every week they have a live stream on Friday from a different park in Walt Disney World. Definitely check out them, as well as the Live Place, link in the description. And yeah, we do have 2 birthdays this week. Let's see, I should probably have had that pulled up. Actually, today's birthday, Saturday, Disney Doof. I don't think he's here in the chat currently, but if he's listening later on, happy birthday to Disney Doof. Also, Wednesday the 10th is Emmy's birthday. Big happy birthday to Emmy. Hopefully those 2 people have great birthdays, great weeks. Yeah. Oh gosh, my calendar says 15th is tax day. If you guys do taxes, just be on the lookout for that. I think that's it when it comes to announcements, unless Alex has another announcement he'd like to make to the people listening.
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess, I don't know. Something feels, I can't quite put my finger on it, but something feels weird about, I think it's because I woke up early. I don't know. Anyways, we're going to get into this week's segment of Matt Snaps. This is Peach. I felt like I should switch it up. Last week I had the strawberry kiwi, and then the past 20,000 episodes was mango. So I felt like I had to switch it up. Oh, I forgot to put ice in my cup. Oh well. Anyways.
The heck was that?
I put the cup over my mouth and like sucked in, and it made a fart noise. For those of you guys not listening or not watching on the live stream, that's what that was. I definitely did not just fart into the microphone. But I'm really sad. There's no ice. All right. Oh well. Let's just open this up. And the fun fact, real fact number 144 for today. Texas is the only state that permits residents to cast absentee ballots from space. Well, now that is just quite the interesting fact. Thank you, Snapple, for bringing that to my attention. Oh my god, there's no ice. It's gonna be so warm. I mean, it's pretty chilled right now, but these warm up really fast. Within at least 10 minutes, this will be room temperature. So, if I'm sick tomorrow, you guys will know the reason why. But anyways, we're gonna get right into this week's news from the peak. I think I used the wrong thing. Maybe. It's okay. Anyways, like I said, not a lot of news happened this past week, so it's going to be a fairly shorter episode than most of you might be used to. But for our first bit of Disney news. Virgin Trains is going to bring a high-speed rail stop to Walt Disney World. So yeah, this is really interesting, really great news for those of you travelers who, fly great distances to the Orlando International Airport to go on vacation to Walt Disney World. A high-speed rail will be constructed to connect the Orlando International Railroad International Airport, and Walt Disney World. Virgin Trains president Patrick Goddard said that the company has plans to build out a Walt Disney World station at the same time that they build out an Orlando International Airport location. Construction would start immediately and would take 30 to 36 months. Goddard added that a Disney station would, quote, integrate with their transportation system, hotels, and theme parks. Now, I'd like to point out that Rob Plays has a very interesting video when it comes to sort of high-speed rails connecting the Orlando International Airport to Walt Disney World. So I'd recommend, if you guys would like more backstory on this, I'd recommend checking out Rob Plays' one of his fairly recent videos, I believe. He did a video on that. So head on over to his channel. But this is great news, like I said, for those of you, I guess, who do not want to rent a car to drive to Walt Disney World from the airport. Not really sure how much this would cost, though. I guess we'll figure that out within the coming months. But for our second bit of news from the peak, Avengers Endgame breaks ticket pre-sale records. Yeah, the Marvel film breaks the record for pre-sale ticket purchases for a movie in a single day, beating out the previous winner, or the previous record holder, The Force Awakens. The film managed, Avengers Endgame that is, managed to break the record in only 6 hours. That is really crazy, you guys. It only took this film 6 hours to beat out The Force Awakens in pre-sale tickets. So currently the standing is number 1, Endgame, number 2, The Force Awakens, number 3 being The Last Jedi, number 4, Rogue One, and number 5 is Infinity War. So for those of you guys that were doubting this film to top Infinity War in box office revenue, use this as sort of a good indicator that it most likely will beat out Infinity War in box office revenue. So yeah, I don't know. This is just something very interesting I felt like you guys would like to know. And for our third and final bit of news from the peak, this saddens me a lot, you guys, a great deal. I am very sad because of this. The spitting camel in Adventureland in the Magic Kingdom is gone, you guys. Whether he roamed away on his own, if his leash popped off and he just walked away, or, I don't know, if he got stolen and is now in some collector's cave. I don't know, maybe the Joker stole him, put him in... Joker doesn't have a cave. I'm thinking of the Bat Cave. I don't know. But this is very sad news, you guys. For all of you Adventureland lovers out there. Yeah, very sad news. It saddens me to bring this news to you, you guys. The spitting camel has become a staple in the world of theming and immersion in the Magic Kingdom since its opening in 2001. That being the camel's opening in 2001, not the Magic Kingdom's opening in 2001. On Saturday, WDW News Today discovered that the camel was gone, and they immediately took to their keyboards to report this travesty. He was replaced by a garden of succulents. So, succulents do not require a lot of water to live. And as many of you may know, the spitting camel spits out water. So I don't know. This could be a sign that
in fact, opposite.
I don't know. This could be a sign that the spitting camel may never return. But post your conspiracy theories in the chat, you guys. Alex, what are your thoughts on the spitting camel being removed in Adventureland at the Magic Kingdom?
I thought it was ugly. I'm glad it's gone. Are you okay?
Spit Snapple out my nose.
I wish we had that on camera.
I did not expect Alex to say that he thought the camel was ugly. I thought he was going to agree with all of us that the camel was a staple in the Magic Kingdom and deserved to be preserved for thousands and thousands of years. But It's good to see
More
that
like
they're...
like
go
a
ahead.
staple put into its beauty.
Oh my gosh, you guys, it's gonna be an awesome episode. I can already tell you guys, it's gonna be great. But yeah, post your conspiracy theories in the chat below. Do you think the spitting camel will return, or has he... I'm trying to think of a pun that relates to camels. Has he trotted off in the savannah? I don't know. I'm just gonna move on, because that was... Anyways. Moving on. I hope you guys had a great week. I've been sort of lacking this past week. I did rediscover Minecraft about a month ago, and that's been sort of eating up all the time that I have. And I'd like to apologize for not putting out as much content as you guys may be used to. This week we will have a new episode of Great Moments in Historyland. And like I said, Jeremy and I are also working on 2 new shows for the channel. I'm all out of sorts today. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, expect a big steam train to just full of content. A big steam train full of content just barrel down the train tracks this year. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyways, I'd like to, before we get into our main topic, I'd like to showcase these. I don't know if you guys have seen these mugs released in Disneyland: A California Adventure. I would like to commemorate whoever drew the art for these mugs. I love you, because these are some of the most amazing mugs I've ever seen. I'm going to scroll through these images for you. I believe these are a part of the I Was There series of mugs that are sold at Starbucks, I believe, in Disneyland and California Adventure. There's also some for, I believe, for all the parks in Walt Disney World as well. But these are some really sweet mugs if you take a look at... Oh, Been There series, Starbucks. Yeah, and this past week there was a California Adventure one that was recently released. So as you can see here, the California Adventure one is arguably better than the Disneyland one, which is kind of surprising. But look at how awesome this artwork is, you guys. I don't know. I don't know. I just felt like it was important to showcase this and how beautiful these mugs are. They are like $24 a piece though. So if you're willing to dip into your pockets to acquire one of these, I feel like, I don't know, it'd be well worth it to flex on all of your Disney friends. You know, I got this awesome mug. What do you have? Oh, I don't have anything. I don't have any mugs. That's basically how the conversation's gonna go. But
I want the Disneyland mug for my mug.
Yeah, me too. I feel like, I don't know, the California Adventure one has more color, but you know, the Disneyland one's got like those pastels, those pink and blue pastels, and I don't know. They're both really neat. I should have brought up pictures of the other ones for the Walt Disney World parks. But anyways, like I said, we only have one main topic for today. Actually, let me see. Okay, well actually, Alex, while we were doing News from the Peak, sent me a very important message regarding news about the new parking structure. Alex brought to my attention that they're installing the awnings in the new parking structure. He linked a video, so let's take a look at... Oh, that's very loud. That is a very loud video.
I'm sorry, I should have warned you.
Let's see. This is from She's in Los Angeles YouTube channel. So let's take a look at this.
Yeah, shout out to Jane. She films this stuff. She has a really great channel, and I've talked to her a lot of times. We tried to meet up a few times, but I don't think we ever are in the same park at the same time.
I think is that it for that? Let me go. Let me go back a bit. Okay, so there we go. Those are the awnings, I'm presuming, and then I'm guessing these are foundations for the continuations of the awnings. That's what it looks like to me.
Wait, I'm trying to catch up to where you are. No, actually, that might be for, I think, like light posts or signs that light up and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Because the awnings are are only as they are. I don't know if you want to show people the concept art that I sent you, but
yeah, I'll bring that up.
But the awnings themselves is just one really long rectangle, and that's about it. It's just to shade the short lines of people that will be under it, because I don't think that whole area where all the palm trees are going to be, and all that, I don't think all that is going to be full of people, on a day by day, month by month basis. I think it's going to be a lot like the current Eastern security check area for Disneyland, where the lines right now are like super short because they have so many security bag check queues and like a lot of metal detectors. So the lines over on the eastern side of the Disneyland Esplanade have been amazing. It's not even a 2 or 3 minute wait. So
Really?
I'm guessing because like I think I was telling you guys a few episodes ago that before they revamped it, they had 12 metal detectors there, and the lines would just be ridiculously long, sometimes all the way out to Harbor Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
And but now they have 24 metal detectors, and so it's literally double the capacity, and the lines for getting into the security check is like nothing. There's no lines at all, and especially since they're going to be adding security checkpoints over at Toy Story lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to help even more, because then those people who get bussed in will not have to wait at those security checks with everybody else when they get to the Esplanade, I mean. So anyway, so my point about that is that if you look at this concept art, you can see that whole area under the awning, which takes up like a huge section of the front of the parking structure, is all going to be metal detectors, at least 24, just like the east side of the Esplanade, if not more, maybe even 30. Mm-hmm. So I don't see there being very many long lines unless it's opening season or year of Galaxy's Edge. Other than that, I think that those lines will be very manageable in the years to come.
Very, very. And I mean very, guys. This is very interesting stuff. Thank you, Alex, for bringing this to our attention.
Oh, one more thing.
Yes.
So I don't know if you guys have been watching Jane's channel. She's in Los Angeles. She does the updates on Galaxy's Edge, stuff going around the park, and even the parking structure, of course. But in her videos, she actually tries to like peek inside the parking structure. And what you can see going on is that they have actually built walls in the bottom floor of the parking structure that completely, I mean, walls that go from floor to ceiling that completely block off any views of the parking structure on the bottom floor. Now, I've speculated before, I've even told Mateo, but Mateo didn't really believe me. I've speculated before that that Disney is going to theme the security check area along with the tram pickup. I think they're going to theme it, because if you've been to the security check in Mickey and Friends parking structure, they added some banners and some bunting to try to make it look nice, because otherwise you're just in this big concrete box. But I think that they're honestly going to try to theme that area when it opens and make it look nice, so that way you don't feel like you're just walking into a concrete jungle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's going to be really cool. I'm excited to see what they do. And yeah.
Well, that'd be cool. I visited the Mickey and Friends for the first time when I went to Disneyland in December, and I have to say, it felt like I was entering, I don't know, like an airport parking lot or something. It was really weird. It didn't really give off the same Disney vibe that I was expecting.
Right.
That'd be really cool. I'd like to see. I can't see. I need. Okay. That'd be really cool. I'd like to see a theme to, the entrance of the parking structure. So we'll see. We will update you guys about any new information regarding that. Let's see. Okay, back to our main topic, you guys. We're going to be talking about a recently published. I don't even know how to describe this. Well, I guess I should first say what we're going to be talking about is the Red Car Trolley closing on April 1st to make way for the brand new Marvel Land in Disney California Adventure. And we're going to be sort of expanding on what Dave from Fresh Baked said in his video, which will be linked in the description below. So I guess I'll go over what Dave specifically said and predicted in his video, and then we'll sort of build from there. Yeah, like I said, the Red Car Trolley will be closing on April 1st, or I guess is already closed, because April 1st is past, to make way for the brand new Marvel Land. The Disney Parks website says that the trolley will return in 2020 on a new, and this is the big one, a new modified line. So they say it's not going to return on the same line that it previously operated on before. The place where the trolleys are housed off stage are directly in the middle of the Phase 1 construction of Marvel Land. And I'll go ahead and switch to, where's my mouse? I'll switch to a Google Maps thing here for you guys. So for those of you watching, this is where the Red Car Trolleys are stored when they're, I don't know, either entering maintenance or I guess that's basically just where they're parked. And as you can see, here is Mission Breakout right here. And all of this, you guys, Bugs Land, up until, yeah, all of this is for Phase 1 Marvel Land. And now, like I said, this is sort of in that awkward area where if Disney decides to expand Phase 2 out behind Mission Breakout, they'd have to demolish this and reroute the Red Car Trolley if they want to expand out this way. And that was sort of Dave's prediction. He predicted that the Red Car Trolley would turn left here at the Hyperion Theater. I totally lost my place. Would turn left at the Hyperion Theater instead of right, going down the back lot down this way, instead of turning right and sort of curving and going in front of Mission Breakout. Now, that's a pretty reasonable prediction to make, because Disney did say themselves that it was going to be returning in 2020 on a quote-unquote modified line. I mean, we don't really know what they mean when they say modified line, but this is like the most general, safest assumption that you can make. Before we go any further, I'd like to hear Alex's thoughts on the Red Car Trolley possibly being rerouted for Marvel Land.
Oh, I had my suspicions that they would reroute it. I just didn't say anything because I thought, oh, well, there's a big chance that they don't need to. But there was something in my head where I was kind of like, okay, well, if they're ever going to, because everybody's known for a long time that they were thinking of expanding Marvel Land to that big parking lot behind the big droppy cruddy ride.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I'm sorry, you guys. I'm totally, don't come after me with pitchforks and torches. But yes, so I thought that they were going to expand it back there, and so I thought, they're probably going to want to move that that trolley, I guess what you call garage, I guess, roundhouse, I don't know, but anyway, that they'd want to move it because it is kind of in the way, and because it's going to be in such close proximity to where the walkways of the land will be, it might be difficult to disguise it. I mean, not hard. I mean, it's not like, it's not like, oh, they can't do it. I mean, it's just extra work, and and it will obstruct the view of the big droppy tower thing. So anyway, my thoughts are that, yeah, I think they're going to do exactly what Dave is predicting, and they're going to make it turn left at the Hyperion Theater, they'll probably build a new, like a garage or roundhouse building right where the Captain Marvel meet and greet is right now, which is that big empty stage building that they don't even use most of the time. Mm-hmm. So, and and may I just add, I think that California Adventure needs like to use the Red Car Trolleys as like a mass transit for the park. Mm-hmm. I honestly think, like, you know how Disneyland has its railroad and it helps you to get to the major lands of the park? I think that California Adventure should make either a Red Car Trolley that surrounds the perimeter of the park to get you to the major areas that you want to get to, or build multiple lines that take you to the different areas of the park. Like, you know, like what if a Red Car Trolley like made its way down the main walkway all the way to Pixar Pier? You know, that way you don't have to walk. So anyway, that'd be kind of cool. I know it's difficult, but you know, I'm just blue skying right here, so.
Well, that'd be neat. I do think that California Adventure needs something like the train, like you said, to sort of transport the guests to various different lands around the park. I feel like that'd be great. Disney, if you're listening, please. That would be awesome. But let's see. Where do we? Yeah. So yeah, basically, that was the rumor that Dave put forward, and I do agree. I feel like someone said in chat actually. Maybe it'll loop around the Hollywood area. That'd be cool if it turned right here, right again, and then made another right. No, wait, these are lefts. Made a left, and then another left, and then made a right down here, and then be back down Hollywood Boulevard, and then it could circle around all the way back to Buena Vista Street, so it wouldn't even have to stop. That'd be kind of neat too as well. Whether or not they do that is the big question. Left and right. Yeah, I don't know why I thought it was right. Anyways, Dave, you know, I just want to point out, one of the things I love about Fresh Baked is the fact that Dave, he loves to speculate on things. And the extent to which he speculates is never ending. And that's one of the reasons why I love Fresh Baked, because he'll, you know, take a rumor like this, and then he'll push it even farther to include things you wouldn't even think would be attached to, you know, just rerouting the trolley. And that's sort of what he did in this episode. He then goes on to say that it would be perfect for the backlot to be rethemed to a Mickey-themed land, along with Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway being placed in the backlot, which is something that we've heard in the past. There was a rumor circulating a few months ago that Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway was going to come to, I believe it was the backlot area of the of California Adventure. So, you know, a lot of this is based in previous rumors that we've heard. But, you know, there was also the rumor that Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway would be headed to Toontown, but you know, Dave, he has those little, like he called them, little birdies whispering in his ears. He said that, or I guess he was told, that Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway was not over in the terms of the ride coming to the Disneyland Resort, and he then goes on to say that Toontown would be most likely used for an expansion for Star Wars Land, rather than putting Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway in there, which I guess makes... Yes.
I'm a little concerned. Does Dave hear these voices often?
Oh my gosh. I told you guys it's going to be a wonderful, just great episode. Where was I? I just totally lost my train of thought.
You're welcome.
Which I guess makes the backlot the most prime spot to put Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, because, you know, according to Dave and the people that he has, the birdies that he has whispering in his ears, like I said, the Disney does still have plans to bring Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway to Disneyland, which is kind of weird because we haven't heard a single thing about Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which is supposed to open this year in Hollywood Studios, and we still haven't seen any like new concept art or new test footage or even any updates at all, which is kind of weird. I didn't really want to throw this in there, but there was also a rumor on WDW News Today that Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway was going to be delayed until next year. But that was based in no evidence behind it. But I felt like it'd be I don't know, relevant to bring that up since we're talking about Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and the fact that like I said, there has been no new information really released about that ride. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on that, because it is very strange in my opinion. But
can I just add something?
Yes.
So, I'm looking at the overall size of the backlot area, what they call it, Hollywood Land. Mm-hmm. And if you guys look at all those buildings and how underutilized that whole area is. That's got to be at least 10 acres, if not more, of just space that they're not really using to its full potential. You know, like, it's just amazing. I think the only building that is being utilized properly is the Monsters Inc. ride, and even then it's just kind of like a sad ride. So, you know, I didn't mean for that to sound funny. I just thought like that was. I'm just being honest. I'm not hated. I'm just honest. So, you know, and then there's that Stage 17 building, which who said it in chat? Not the Killing Type said, is the old Millionaire building even used? And I responded back that they use it for like cast member training whenever something really big happens and they want cast members to preview it and stuff. Like, like when they were building Buena Vista Street, they literally created a walkthrough tour of Buena Vista Street inside that building. What? And it zigzagged through the building. Cool. And then they made us walk through it. Oh, and it included Cars Land too. So they made us walk through Buena Vista Street, and then they made us like taste the popcorn and like taste like other stuff, like, and they had all this food and they had little skits that the entertainment department would play out. So, like, you know how there's like characters on Buena Vista Street, like the woman that rides the tricycle, or the lady with like the creepy puppet dog, and then like and then like the police officer. Like, okay, they had those people in the building, and they were like interacting with us and stuff like that. And then when we moved to Cars Land, that area, we entered this big room, and there was like Lightning McQueen there, and Sally, I think that's her name. Yeah. And then they had us like taste like stuff that was going to be served at the Cozy Cone. And I'm telling you, everything was dressed up like you were in the land. It was really cool. But that's what they used that building for. And I'm sorry I went off on a tangent, but I figured we have extra time. So, but yeah, like, they don't really use these buildings. And even since they're going to put Mickey's PhilharMagic in the Sunset Showcase Theater, I still feel like, okay, that's great, you know, but the rest of the land really needs help, you know?
Yeah. That's really cool. I would never have guessed that building would be used. I mean, I guess it is a pretty big building, now that I look at it.
It's huge.
But that is really cool. Thank you, Alex, for sharing that. That, I feel like, I don't know. That's just really cool to me. But yeah. So I don't know. I do agree. This whole area is just the worst. It's just the worst, you guys. There's nothing worse than this land in the Disney park. I mean, I'm sure arguments.
And I hate the animation building.
Why? Why do you hate the animation building?
Okay, because it's got okay stuff. But the problem is it's okay stuff in a really big building the size of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh.
Okay, maybe not that big. I'm kind of over exaggerating, but it's at least Haunted Mansion sized. And that's a lot of like space that is just not being used to its full potential.
You know, yeah, that's true. The last time I visited the animation building, like I don't know. I do love the little scenes that they play with all the screens up above, but I feel like those haven't been updated in like since Tangled or Frozen came out. And that was like, however, I don't know how many years ago that was. They haven't added any of the new films, the new Disney animation films. So I do feel like that place is sort of on its last legs as well. I don't really know how popular Turtle Talk with Crush is, or the animation thing class that they have there. So I wouldn't miss it if it were gone. But I mean, it is a nice, you know, people say this all the time, but it is a nice air-conditioned building to, you know, just take a nap in. I went and took a nap in the animation building after I almost my head almost exploded when I went on Guardians of the Galaxy 3 times in a row. So I do have I do have that going for me. But so yeah, overall consensus here is that the Hollywood backlot is the worst area in a Disney park. It needs to be rethemed, and I do agree with Dave. A Mickey themed land would be amazing. I feel like he does make the argument that it could be really well transitioned from Buena Vista Street to this, you know, this hypothetical Mickey land. And well, you know, with the Red Car Trolley passing through it now, rumored, allegedly, and like Alex said, with Mickey's Fill Our Magic coming, it does almost make perfect sense to theme this to a Mickey land. But then again, you have, you know, Monsters Inc. I mean, it's not a very popular ride. I don't think a lot of people would miss it. I don't know. I do agree with Alex, though. It is a sad ride. But anyways, let's see. Toontown will be used for an expansion for Star Wars Land. Where did we leave off on? Oh, okay. Dave also goes on to say that... Which building was it? He says one of these buildings back here is... Disney's planning to build a new cast member building behind Luigi's Rollicking Roadsters, right over here in this area. To maybe sort of consolidate all of these offices that they have here into one, you know, fairly large building, and that sort of points more signs to expansion out this way. If they're getting rid of these buildings, they're obviously making room for expansion of either, you know, the most, you know, Marvel Land expanding out this way behind Guardians of the Galaxy.
You know what those buildings are?
No, please enlighten us.
So you can probably tell. Oh yeah, dude, I feel like such a nerd. Like the fact that I know all them. Like, hey, you want to know what those buildings are? Because I know. But but
oh my gosh,
allow me to bring you into my nerdy world. So as you can tell, those are portable buildings, and what those are is creative offices for Imagineering. Now, there are creative offices for Imagineering just behind Pirates of the Caribbean, and that's where they mainly keep all of their creative Imagineering stuff. But because DCA is such a project to work on and fix, they've pretty much set up shop just for DCA. This says something, okay? Because Walt Disney World has a Imagineering area, and it's in one building in one spot of the resort. But the fact that Disneyland, which is not even a fraction the size of Walt Disney World, needs 2 different offices, one specifically that works just for DCA because of how much projects they have to do to fix that park. That's why they're going to build a permanent building for it. Maybe it'll be large enough that they can consolidate the Disneyland Imagineering shop and move that out of there. I don't know, but from what it looks like, there are so many things that they want to do with DCA to get it to where it needs to be that they probably just want its own building that won't take up so much space. And on top of that, those portable buildings only last 11 years technically, so by law they have to replace them. So they're probably like, might as well build a permanent building.
Huh. Interesting. You mean...
Yes.
What do you mean they only last like 11 years? What do you mean by that?
Oh, yeah. So the manufacturers that make those portable buildings, there's like a law with portable buildings that they are only allowed to be used for 11 years before they get replaced. Like, because like the materials they're made out of and all that, they're not designed to be renovated.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like if you were to like get like you ever had one of those pop-up trailers that you haul behind your truck and then it turns into a tent?
Yeah.
It's like those, you wouldn't want to spend money to renovate it, would you? I mean, you'd rather just buy a new one when it gets old. So that's why those have to be replaced. And so Disney has a choice: either buy a bunch of new ones or just build a permanent building that you won't have to replace every 10 years.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
I'm a nerd about everything, honestly. Like, just ask me. I probably know something about it.
Well, thank you, Alex. We appreciate your knowledge here on the channel, because I know literally nothing. But yeah. Anyways, yeah, it would be a really great idea to consolidate, all of these buildings. All of these buildings into one building, to make way for expansion. And then, getting rid of what did someone call it? Someone called this the roundhouse. I don't know if that's the correct term, but I'm going to call it that. Roundhouse. Where have I heard that before?
Roundhouse is a word used to describe basically a giant garage for train locomotives. And so Disneyland has a roundhouse, as you know, because it houses all 5 locomotives of the Disneyland Railroad and stuff like that. So, but I know it's confusing because it doesn't look round, but in the olden days, a roundhouse was literally round, and it was like a big circular shaped building, and in the center was a turntable where they could rotate the locomotive any direction they wanted and move it onto a garage.
Yeah,
so that's why it was called a roundhouse.
I think I know. Yeah, I can picture the thing turning around. Wasn't Roundhouse the name of like a Nickelodeon show? I feel like if someone in the chat knows, I feel like that sounds, I don't know. Anyways,
and one more thing. Okay, so do you see, if you look over by Luigi's Rollicking Roadsters, there's a big patch of nothing but gravel. It's not even paved, it's just gravel, and you can see like a truck, like a big truck van parked on the gravel. I don't know if do you see it there? Okay, yeah. So that I remember in I think it was either late 2012 or early 2013, Disney was so proud to announce to its cast members that was the first expansion of Cars Land.
Wait a minute.
Because you know what it was? It was the place where they kept the inflatable beach balls for Luigi's Flying Tires.
Oh my.
So when they had to add the beach balls to the flying tires to make it more exciting. And so Disney was like, oh, okay, well, we're going to allocate this space to house all the beach balls. And they like created this little skit and show for the cast members to watch on the cast member TV. And it was like announcing that it was the first expansion, and it was meant to be a joke, but then the hilarity of it was like, then they closed the flying tires, and then that space wasn't even used anymore. I just thought that was funny. I had to share it.
Well, thank you again, Alex. I have nothing to add to this show, you guys. Alex should be the real host of Matterhorn Mondays. We should call it Alex Afternoons. I feel like that'd be a cool name. Alex Afternoons. It's got a nice ring to it. Anyways, maybe we'll make a pin It says Alex Afternoons with his face on it. I don't know. I'll come back to that idea. Anyways, I don't even remember what we were talking about before.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I guess the main rumor surrounding Marvel Land, at least the main rumor that I've seen surrounding Marvel Land, is that it would expand out this way, down into the Hollywood backlot area, and sort of take up all of that, retheme all of it. I guess that's sort of with this rumor that Dave is, throwing out there. He's predicting that this rumor is false and that they're indeed going to expand out backwards behind Mission Breakout and, basically create something new from the ground up, which is kind of what they're doing in for the Bugs Land part. Gosh, Bugs Land is small. I didn't even realize how small it was. Anyways, I guess, do I have more? Oh, okay. He goes on to say that with recent improvements of security at the harbor entrance and at the Toy Story lot, the Eastern Gateway project is 100% dead, and that Disney has no plans to expand DCA out into this transportation hub, which was their plan when they first announced the Eastern Gateway to expand out, sort of in like a sideways oval shape, expand out this way. So, yeah, that's pretty sad. Again, rest in peace, the Eastern Gateway. He will be missed. Let's see. Someone said in chat, Ross W. said, now that the Eastern Gateway is dead, they should move the bus drop-off over by McYee parking lot and just have the east side a walk-up line. That would free up a lot of room for redoing Hollywood area. Alex, what are your thoughts on what Ross W. said?
I apologize, Ross W., but I read that comment earlier and I had no idea what you were saying.
Well, Ross, if you would like to elaborate on your suggestion, then we would be more than happy to read it again. I don't know, you guys. Alex, do you have any closing thoughts you'd like to say on this topic?
Hey, don't look at me, okay? You got to run this show.
I think that's it. I don't really think there's anything else there is to say. Did we miss anything? I don't think we missed anything, did we? No, we talked about that. He wants bus drop-offs moved to the parking structure area so that the Eastern Gateway is nothing but walking traffic. Oh, okay.
Oh, all right.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, I definitely... Yeah, I think anything that gets the buses out of that area would be better because when they announced the Eastern Gateway project, I was so excited because that meant that whole bus drop-off area would become more expansion for either DCA or even maybe Disneyland, but I don't know. But definitely DCA expansion. And that would have helped DCA to be, well, I don't know, to have more space, to put more things, to make it feel more worth it to go there. And so, yeah, if they can move the, whatchamacallit, I'm having a brain fart. I can't think. So if they could move the Toy Story lot shuttles out of there, I mean, just look at, I mean, Matt, can you zoom in on that?
Yeah.
I don't know if you can. So what am I trying to say? The lane there on the bottom that makes a rectangular oval instead of a round bubble at the end. That is where the Toy Story shuttles drop off, and they don't always use all that space. They usually only use the southernmost lane of that. They just turn around and then they just go back towards the south to where the trees are. So they don't even need all of that. It's just just turnaround space. So if they could get rid of that, just that one lane alone, that one area, what am I trying to say? That one area that they use specifically just for the Toy Story lot buses, that whole area is enough to hold massive lines of people, especially like if they had done it in time for the opening of Galaxy's Edge. Man, that would have been great space to hold lines of people waiting to go through security.
Yeah.
But they didn't, so we can't. But anyway, yeah, I think that it'd be awesome if in the future they moved the Toy Story lot shuttles over to the new Pixar Pals parking structure and left that space as expansion. Because you know what they could put there? If you zoom in on the Monsters Inc. building, just to the right of it is a where are you going? Oh, okay. Just to the right of the Monsters Inc. building is the headquarters of the resort custodial. And so they could easily move that further up north. Then stage 17, where I told you that they do like cast member training and previews, they could build a new building for that isn't quite so big and put that further up north. And they have room to literally expand that land, even by just the little amount that it is, to make it bigger and house like at least 2,000 more people. So that's a huge improvement to the park capacity just by getting rid of that one little Toy Story lot shuttle drop off.
Well, let's see. Where is the Toy Story lot in relation? I don't think I've ever been.
Okay, so if you zoom out and then go down, you'll see a big parking lot on the right-hand side. Okay.
Wait. Here we go. Is this it right here?
The video's on delay, you guys. So like whatever Matt does, I have to like wait to see it. So yes. Okay, so that entire thing is the Toy Story lot, and you'll see a hedge of trees to the north, and then another rectangular parking lot. That is the cast member Catella lot for cast members. So there are two sets of shuttles that leave that whole area. One for the guests, one for the cast members. And often the Toy Story lot gets overcrowded, so then they have to boot out the cast members and have the guests park in the cast member parking lot. And anyway, so those buses, they then travel out onto Harbor Boulevard, they make a right, oh wait, no, they don't. They, you know what they do? They exit the parking lot through the cast member parking lot. They follow Clementine Avenue up to Disney Way, I think it is. Or is it Disney Way? Yeah, it's Disney Way. And then they enter just behind the Guardians of the Galaxy attraction. So that's how they get into that space. Yes. So honestly, the less traffic you can give to Harbor Boulevard, the better. So if they were able to reroute those buses to make a left onto Catella instead of going straight onto Clementine, if they made a left onto Catella and then went maybe up Walnut Street, which is just behind the Disneyland Hotel, that could relieve a lot of traffic. Like a lot of traffic for both Harbor Boulevard and even Disneyland Drive. So, because Walnut Street is not even busy at all, day or night. So they could easily drive the buses up Walnut Street, make a right onto Magic Way, and enter the new parking structure from the rear. So,
well, that, I don't know, that is a fair distance away from the Mickey and Friends. I mean, it'd probably add on maybe at least...
Small price to pay, darling.
um, it probably, I don't know, add on maybe 2 or 3 minutes of travel time. But I mean, I guess it could work if they had enough shuttles waiting for the guests coming from. I don't know. This is like the big problem that everybody. This is a big,
but, you know,
big problem
maybe
that Disneyland has. You know, everything's
but
so.
maybe
spread out.
it wouldn't. Maybe maybe the travel time wouldn't be so bad. Maybe it would be equal because of the fact that the buses have to wait to cross Harbor Boulevard, and the buses wait on Disney Way, and people get off the freeway using Disney Way. So Disney Way will be backed up with traffic in the morning. People getting off the 5 freeway. I'm talking about the people that don't know where to park, because some people already know where to get off the freeway to get to Mickey and Friends and stuff like that. But a lot of people get off the freeway at Disney Way because it's labeled Disney Way, and then they find out there's no way. So,
oh my, that was amazing. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just, I don't know how to explain it. It's just I mean, I'm sure we've brought this up before. Everybody's brought this up before. There's just no other places to expand Disneyland anywhere else. I mean, they do have this land up here that they did buy up for the Eastern Gateway project. I'm sure they could use that for something, maybe another parking lot. I mean, this could be big enough to, I don't know. It might be big enough to house a third gate. Maybe, if it's small enough.
It's big enough to house something the size of DCA when it first opened.
Yeah.
But I have a feeling maybe like 20 years in the future, that whole triangle from Harbor and the 5 all the way down to Harbor and Catella, and then all the way right to Catella and the 5. I think that whole triangle one day will become a third park.
You know, yeah, that could work. 'Cause what is this? Is this the Garden Walk? This is the Garden Walk.
That's Garden Walk. That was land originally owned by Disney, and then they got like 3 different hotels that said, "Oh, we want to build onto this land, and we'll be your good neighbor hotels." So Disney was like, "Oh, right," and they sold the land, and then they found out that they pulled a Walt Disney on them by it was actually a secret company pretending to be 3 different hotel companies, but this company was going to build Garden Walk in order to rival Downtown Disney.
What? Okay. That's so
yeah.
strange. Well, I mean, gosh, this whole lot right here is big enough, looks bigger than Disneyland. At least, you know, from my perspective here. So that could be, I don't know, it's just the fact that they've bunched themselves in with this Esplanade area and the drop-off area where if they do build a third park here, how would they get the guests to the third park? Because the businesses were, well, I guess they wouldn't have to worry about the businesses if they built a
no,
bridge,
they wouldn't, because I think Disney would get rid of all those businesses, and they would build a land bridge over Harbor Boulevard. Just like they did with Disneyland Drive, how Downtown Disney is completely uninterrupted by Disneyland Drive because it goes underneath it. I think Disney would build a land bridge that connected to the third park. And I think, honestly, that would be... I know a lot of people say, but Alex, it's better to build a third park on Toy Story lot. And it's like, yeah, that is. But how are you going to get people there? Like, imagine waiting for security booths over there. Like, where are you going to put it? Like, and even then, it's just like, it's a lot of land, but it's so far away from the other places. I mean, people who want to, who, let's say they buy a park hopper ticket and they're like, oh, we went to Disneyland, now we're at DCA. Oh, let's finish the day with, I don't know, Westcott. I don't know, and then they're like, oh, it's a 1 mile long walk.
Yeah.
No, thanks. Yeah. So I honestly believe that whole triangle to the right of Disneyland Resort, following Harbor Boulevard all the way through Catella, I think that one day that will be Disney's third park somehow.
Yeah, I could see that happening. I mean, it's so weird. Disney bought out Fox, but they can't for some reason just buy up all these hotels here in the Garden Walk. I don't know. That just seems kind of weird to me. I mean, I know it's like completely different, not even on like the same scale, but I don't know. That's just kind of weird to me. Anyways, I guess that's just some food for thought for you guys. We managed to kill an extra 30 minutes talking about that. So, yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts on what we just finished discussing. And I guess, I don't know, does that wrap up the show? I guess that does wrap up the show. We don't have any words with Walt this week. We don't have any spooky stories this week, but if you would like to submit some spooky stories to the show, you can do so by emailing them to me, ytmatterhornmatt@gmail.com. They can be true stories. Maybe you saw Walt's ghost in the bathroom of in Disneyland, or maybe, I don't know, you were visiting a relative who says their house was haunted and you saw a spooky ghost there. They can also be, made up stories just for our entertainment, but we do prefer true life spooky stories. Maybe you were abducted by aliens, got your brain tinkered with. I don't know. We'd love to be the.
Think you're an alien?
I mean, yeah, you can send that in if you want as well. I guess we'll read anything as long as it's appropriate and not obviously like a meme. I guess, kind of. Anyways, yeah, spooky stories, ytmatterhornmatt@gmail.com. Is that it? I don't think I have any other things I need to say. All right, well. Oh, well, we should mention one thing that I forgot to mention. The long-anticipated return of the Astro Orbiter to Tomorrowland, you guys. I'd like to briefly talk about the Astro Orbiter and how it is one of the most groundbreaking attractions that Walt Disney Imagineering has ever created. In my personal opinion, I feel like nothing, not even Rise of the Resistance, is ever going to come close to rivaling Astro Orbiters. I mean, it's in the perfect location in the park. You get views of Tomorrowland, you get views of Main Street, of the hub, you get views of parts of Adventureland, maybe even parts of Fantasyland if you jump up and down when it's spinning around. Alex, very briefly, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the return of the Astro Orbiter.
I saw it testing yesterday. They had the rockets spinning around and stuff, and all I could think of was, wow, they still didn't fix that spinning diagonally planet thingy that I keep saying that I wish they would fix.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they have this really simple ride, right? And one of the things that just make it interesting to look at least, is the thing that doesn't even work. It's like seeing, the ride Dumbo, but none of the little spinners are spinning, and Timothy Mouse doesn't even move. It's just it's
and
weird,
Dumbo is replaced by just a giant poop.
Oh my gosh, I thought he was a giant poop. Oh my goodness. Now I know. I'm just kidding, you guys. I love Dumbo. I'm just kidding. I love Dumbo. He needs love.
He really does.
Poor sad little elephant.
After what Tim Burton did to my baby boy Dumbo, he deserves as much love as he can get. Guys, go follow Dumbo on Twitter. Tweet at him some happy words of encouragement, because I feel like, especially in this time and age, Dumbo needs as much support from us as he can get. I really do mean that. I don't know if Dumbo has a Twitter account, but I'm sure there's like a fan Dumbo Twitter account out there somewhere. Just go follow that. Tweet, I love Dumbo, hashtag together forever. Just as much support as you guys can give him. Anyways, I guess that's going to wrap up the show. We really do appreciate every single one of you who came out to listen live, or who listened on Spotify, on iTunes, on SoundCloud. I don't think I've ever mentioned... I may have mentioned once that this show is on Spotify, but the podcast is on Spotify if you guys prefer to use Spotify over, iTunes or SoundCloud. I do prefer Spotify over those. I do listen to a few podcasts on Spotify. So link to that will be in the description below, as it always is. Also, link to my second channel is also in the description. The second channel being the channel where these live streams are hosted every Saturday at 5 p.m. Mountain Time, or 4 p.m. Disneyland time. I'm gonna start doing that now, I think. Disneyland time. I don't know, I like the sound of that. But anyways, we hope you all enjoyed this episode, and as always, have a great big beautiful tomorrow.